We got to do what we mean and mean what we do. Like those basic things of being representative of a community. If I cared less about them, I probably would be better, quote unquote, at being a leader or being the kind of leader I think that the art world is very accustomed to. Mm-hmm. I say no to a lot of that.
What is one thing that is hard in your life right now?
Yeah. So recently made a crazy but healthy decision to leave big job at a museum and really shift to something else. The else, I'm really not sure what that is, but trying to figure that out. I think it's really hard to be a person that wears a lot of hats, is very like hyphenate. America is not a place that deals well with people that aren't very clean and clear, have very clean and clear careers and identities. And I do not. I, thought I was going to grow up and be an artist and set forward on a path to do so. And then life happens. I found myself on, the tracking a career in museums instead, which is still in the arts, but not quite the way I thought I'd be in museums. So a little different. So trying to be like, okay, I found myself good at those things and was able to kind of, through circumstance, luck, and a lot of hard work, get to where I was leading one. And I think it was a real reality check for me about my kind of origin story as an artist and as a creative person. And so I had to be like, great, I'm making more money than I ever have. I'm able to, make, financial decisions without fear and whatever. And I'd rather not have that than have the feeling of this unhappiness. So now trying to kind of be like, all right, so who is that essential person that that's in there and is like angry and wants to get out? How do I get her back out? And how do I get her back out in this world that's like, well, you were tracking this way. So what are you going to do now? So I've walked away with certain things that are like my kind of non-negotiables. Like I don't want to, I don't want to do fundraising. I don't want to do glad handing. I want to be able to bring people together and create community, give artists access to things maybe they don't have access to. I also am a really good problem solver. So I just, I think that problem solving exists and could exist in other worlds besides the art world. But the hardest thing is being able to have this pause really for the first time in, maybe in my entire life where I'm able to be like asking the hard questions about what I want. I've never really asked myself what I want. I've always just sort of been like, all right, this constant grind and pedaling and, as a single mom for a really long time and, just like I'm still the sole breadwinner in my household. So it's like trying to keep up with everything while also trying to stay true to who you are. And I think I thought I could kind of shove the stay true to who you are part, be like, I'll get to you later. But no, it's like rearing its head and I'm having to answer to it. So trying to figure out what that looks like post one kind of career and potentially embarking on another one. Hopefully that's driven by myself, not by the nonprofit machine, not by other things. So just like it's very difficult to be in a moment of like uncertainty. It's also very exciting.
Yeah. It feels like that's worth sitting with for a second before we jump into any sort of additional questions or analysis.
Yeah.
But I say that because now this isn't the right word, but for lack of art, for sake of an example, like as a consumer of your story, it is interesting to me that you ended by going, it's a wildly uncertain time because I am sitting across from someone who I just heard with the greatest level of certainty have made a decision about something that was deeply convictional about your words, a little angry person in there trying to get out.
Yeah.
That was very clear and doesn't really sound uncertain at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I agree. We, and I say we, because I think it's all of us, me too, are always a step into or a step away from that. My identity must be wrapped into my ability to perform, provide, solve, pick whatever word we like that makes us feel good about the thing that we believe we're capable of doing.
Yeah.
It's really rare to ever be given. I think it's even more rare to take what belongs to us and say, I'm going to not put my worth and identity into a thing simply because it looked good in the magazine.
Yeah.
Occasionally we get lucky and both things align for a small period of time.
Yes.
And we were in the magazine and we loved it, right? Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's always the goal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's take the magazine thing for an example. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like years ago when Swoon, our friends at Swoon were doing the Adolphus, and Sam and Jocelyn asked me to curate a collection for the salon in that space. And we were all in a magazine together. And I remember it being like, this is so fucking dope. Like I've been pals. These ladies have saved my life. Like they are my heart's friends, you know, and to be able to be like, we did this really cool thing together. And, you know, you're posing, you know, Jocelyn and Sam wanted to reshoot the whole thing because they didn't like outfits or something. And I was like, ladies, come on. But then when we did it, and it finally was a thing, it was like, this is us. This is crazy. We've all done these really hard things, you know, 3 women that have pivoted at some point in their life, have determined their own way out of certain weird odds. That was a moment I was like, yeah, hell yeah, you know, but very different to pose, or be in society pages and be like, who is that person? Who is she? And how did she get there? Yeah. And is that where she should be? Yeah.
How would you define who this person is today?
I think I feel like I have, you know, I have an artist's heart, but I also have a very revolutionary heart. Like I want to go fight and I want to change things and I want things to feel like whatever work I've done, I've made a space for the next person. And I feel like I'm getting back to that. I feel like I also, you know, at sort of great risk because I don't come from money. I don't have any money. I didn't save any money, like not in a great money spot at all, but like, I don't care. Like, so to be in a spot where I'm like, I don't care about these things that the world, especially our culture, makes us feel like I should care about. Like, I don't. So I think I'm at this place where I'm like, I really feel, like I'm getting back to that, like, revolutionary, creative heart that that always led me in good directions when I was younger. And I think led me in good directions to the point where I was in a leadership role. I think it's in spite of those things. I think it's because of them, but they don't always drive. I think I'm at this point where I'm like, how do I have chosen myself? And this is the great encouragement of my children who are also suffering from me having this job. So it was like, okay, how do I choose myself and choose my family? And the example I'm setting for my daughters and my son, about what it is to map your life. So I've made that choice. So it's like, how do I make it such that I keep the priority of always choosing myself, but making that a priority, you know? And so then like, how do I craft a life versus being like, life is happening to me? How do I actually do things that feel like choices that are made, that are making a world, you know, versus like, oh, then that happened, and being like a victim of your own
making.
Yeah.
So what do you want?
It's so funny. That question would like freak me out and paralyze me for like really forever until this year. I think what I want is to be able to, rather than having to like go into other spaces to say, here's how we can change what this is to make it XYZ more accessible, more alive, more representative of the city, whatever. Rather than having to have that be like a thing that already exists that I affect, I'd rather just do it myself. Like I'd rather make that space. So physically have a space that is, for showing art or for showing film or for a place that's as hybrid as I feel. So somewhere that feels like that. I don't know if it's for this city. I think I'm at a point where I'm like, Dallas, it's been this like love-hate relationship for almost 30 years. And I'm like, kind of over it. And kind of feel like beaten to death by the weird class systems. But I know that I want to make some place that is, my husband is also a curator and writer. He's from Scotland. He's been here. We got married 5 years ago, and he's been here in Dallas suffering. Like, doesn't drive a car. He would probably learn, but he's like, I'm 53 years old. Why am I going to learn to drive a car at this point? So it's like, he's just been trying to make, cycle everywhere, do all these things, try to make the city something he can use efficiently, because that's the standard he's used to. So like watching him go through that, me being like, I've tried to do all these things here. I have done good work, but I feel like I need to know who I am somewhere else. Because it's one thing to know yourself like in a very narrow thing, but you want to be like, okay, so I think I'm good at this, but am I good somewhere else? Like, or am I just like, I'm just like a goldfish in this tank?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Sorry,
Yeah.
Are you good?
Am I good? Am I good? Am I good? Is that the question?
That's the question.
Am I good? Yes. I'm going to take it from one level first. So I'm going to take it from like a moral level first. I think part of why I'm good at work, at a certain kind of like work, which is like, I think I'm trying to define, but like why I'm good at like going in and being like, let's activate this, let's make this be something, is because I care, like I deeply care. So the like moral questions of like, what is it to be responsible for a community or represent them or be their voice, be the spokesperson, have access to things other people don't. And then like keep in my mind the voices of people that aren't at this level or don't have the privilege of being in these rooms. How do I keep them in mind? So like, I think like my morality, and my friends make fun of me because it's also the thing that keeps me out of rooms. Because if I had less of a concern about like people's well-being, or less concern about, we told them we'd do this, we should do this, or we got to do what we mean and mean what we do, like those basic things of being representative of a community. If I cared less about them, I probably would be better, quote unquote, at being a leader, or being the kind of leader I think that the art world is very accustomed to. I say no to a lot of that. And so, but there are things I am really good at. I'm trying to define them. I don't know what they are. I'm like at a point where I'm like, I used to be good at things. I don't even know what I know how to do right now.
Yeah.
I'm like applying for jobs. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know.
I think that's very fair. By the way, I have asked you two of my most favorite questions in the world, which is, what do you want and are you good? So at this point, thank you. We've like, me as a human, two of my most favorite questions are those two questions. So I'm
great. Those are good. Far. Those are like, whoa. Like,
I love that. I perceived that your guttural reaction to am I good was yes. And then you proceeded to tell me why that thing was true and not good for you, though.
Mm.
And then that led to going, which must mean I'm probably not good at anything.
Yeah, that's definitely where my mind has been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's part of innately in me and in who I am, because it is my job. That's what I do all day long. But also I think I feel very fortunate most days that I think what I do all day long as my job is the thing that I do as a human all day long. It just happens to be, I have found an intersection where I get to do the thing that I'm always doing no matter what. And it happens to be that you paid for it. Yeah. Wonderful. This is fantastic.
Fantastic. Yes.
I think I heard you describe that every place you thought you didn't fit was, from my perspective, is actually all the very places that you actually belong.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean it's comfortable. And it doesn't mean that on most days we walked into that room going, yeah, bitches, it's me. Mm-hmm. Rarely do we feel that way. Mm-hmm. I would also venture to bet on most days in most rooms that feel like that upon our entrance, we walk out very wrung out, satisfied, and knowing, I'm really glad I was willing to stand my ground while I was there when we walk out of that room.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand the desire to not have to walk in and walk out with the same feeling. That's what I see you saying you walked away from, is that I walked in going, dear God, and I walked out going, dear God.
Yeah.
Okay. That's different. That's different than going like, we had a conversation earlier today with Olivia, and like she made a comment, but she was talking about to her kids, but she was like, really, I'm talking to myself. And she was like, there's only two ways to do things. You either don't do them or you do them scared. There's not another option. There's those only two things. If it has any meaning at all, it's those two things.
Yeah.
And I think I heard you describe what you hoped for the artist, whether they are less fortunate, they are less privileged, their voice is quieter, they're in the back of the, whatever that we would say. And for some reason, they trust you and they like you enough for you to know that they have something they don't have and they think you might be able to help them.
Yeah.
The other people that are in the room are also like, hey, when is Lucia coming? Didn't we invite her? We love when she's here.
Are they? Really?
You don't get an invitation more than once if they don't want you to come to the party. You only get an invitation once if they felt like they had to invite you.
Yeah. I think that's what I thought. Like, I really do think that's what I thought. And it felt like, I mean, it's what you're saying. It's like, whatever it is that I have that, there's a lot of artists. There are a lot of artists that do lots of different things. There's a trust people have, and I think it's just from being part of this scene for so long and knowing everybody. But like, I think when I got the job, and, there's only so much I can say, but like when I had that job and it was like, this is okay, I'm in the room, I'm invited, I'm chosen. I spent the rest of the time feeling like I was, interviewing for it. Like I hadn't gotten it yet.
And if this is an unfair question, but welcome to the show.
Yep. Go for it.
What percentage of that, and it's real, what percentage of that do you think now with a little bit of hindsight was true? What percentage of that like every day was an interview and we're waiting for you to have the wrong answer to the question so that we can have a reason to say, oh, well, just kidding, because that's a real thing.
I think that by the time I made the decision to go, it was about probably like 60% feeling like I was any moment going to be. And, wondering what else I had to do to kind of prove myself, because a lot of really good things, like good metrics, that we could say, point to for what was working. But it didn't seem, and I think it wasn't even a question so much by the time I had made a decision to go. It wasn't a question so much as like, I can't make anybody happy. I can't do this right. Like there's such a huge need here that I can't fill. I think I've gotten in over my head, or we're not speaking the same language. Like we don't have the same priorities. There wasn't like, we weren't all rowing in the same direction. All the, all the job metaphors, but like it wasn't happening. And so it was with my team, my staff.
Yeah.
So I think it was, so then it highlighted to me like, the other thing I started to realize was that, I absorb everything. So it's like, I'm the person in the room that's like keenly aware of what needs to be done. Like the work ahead of you. Like I come from a family of 8 kids. I was the second oldest, but I essentially raised my siblings. My parents are always like, we raised them, but I'm like, okay. Yeah. Cool. Ask them what they think. But so raising, family and then had kids really young. And then I went from having really little kids to being, in a workplace where I took all those feelings of caretaking and brought them to a workplace. And that's just been part of what I do all the time. And I think it's a good thing, but the other side of it is that I was absorbing so much and I didn't have anywhere for it to go. And so it was just like, building up sickness in me. So choosing to walk away from it was a way of looking at all of those kind of like the leaders of my life and being like, they made me, they fucked up to a certain degree. So like, what will I do so that I'm not just like hammered down by these things until I don't exist anymore? I think I was at that breaking point between being hammered down and existing. And so choosing to exist. So whatever the mechanics are of like how much I deserve to be in that role almost don't matter, because it taught me what I needed to do or something, like pushed me in some better direction toward what is real, hopefully more creative work. But it certainly definitely leaves a taste in your mouth. Like, I guess I don't know what I'm doing. And I guess this is just like, I just suck at this.
Yeah.
And
again, outsider. That's not what I heard you say though.
Okay.
I heard you say, I don't want to do what I know I'm really good at like that. Not, I don't know what I'm doing. I heard you say, I know exactly what I'm doing and I know exactly how to do it. On paper, crushing it. But if I have to do it like this, I don't want to do it like this. I do want to do it. Sure. Whatever the inner workings of the parts of the role were that you loved and you didn't love. Okay. Well, welcome to being alive.
Yes.
And if there were more things you didn't like than there were that like, then great. It makes sense. We should try something else.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear you say that you weren't great at what you were doing. You just decided, I don't want to do the thing I'm great at doing like that.
No, you're right. That's exactly it.
So I think there's a lot I would venture to bet then a lot of what you could go back and reflect to say, what was I doing? If I could somehow remove the emotion and the feeling of, God, I cannot believe I had to do it like that for a small period of time, you would have a long, beautiful list of things that you loved doing that you were very great at and had wild impact. And then I heard you say 10 minutes ago, and I have an idea, the thing that I think I could do, the things I'm great at, this time I'm just going to do it the way that I want.
Yeah.
And I know that way doesn't mean it's the only way. I know that way does generate a lot of revenue. As somebody who has been in a world that the only language people speak in my world is revenue. As someone who was a summer camp director and a pastor and a wedding photographer, and then this, which makes perfect sense in the corporate space. It's exactly who you want to lead your quarterly executive meeting. So much sense. There's nothing I can put on a piece of paper that says I should be the one you're talking to.
Doing this. Yeah.
I'm the one that you're trying to figure out if you're going to do the $400 million transaction. You want to walk me through the details of the deal to see if it's good for you or not when you get to your final employment contract. Are you speaking English? Because you gave me so many numbers and I still don't remember what EBITDA stands for. I try to, but I can't quite remember. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. Yeah. Every time you're like,
I was like, okay, earnings before interest, tax, and EBITDA. Earnings before tax, and interest, depreciation. Okay, I think that's. I don't know how you calculate it, but it is true. Okay. But I think I am learning. I wish I could say I've learned, but I'm learning. But I think that's exactly why I'm in the room. Is because, yes, do I think it's taken me longer than I want? Yes. Do I get really frustrated because it's not fast enough? Yes. Do I get mad and frustrated sometimes because I walk out of the room and go, I'm so tired of being the poorest person in the room, but I'm the one that has to be in the room for you to make an answer? Yes. Yes. I don't like that. Yeah. Am I poor? No. I eat food. My kids have a great life. We Uber eat. I mean, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then what am I really frustrated at? I'm frustrated that I guess I'm just frustrated that maybe people won't see me.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't see me the way that I wish that they would because I see how they look at you. And I really want someone to look at me like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it feels like what it takes to get someone to look at me like that is money.
Yeah.
And EBITDA. And a transaction.
Yeah.
And an acquisition. Because if I had that and this, then I would mean something.
Yeah, you're nailing it. That's the great identity crisis you're in every day when you're in those rooms and you're who you are, and I think part of my problem, and this is what, people, have said to me, my former boss, Jeremy Strick, who used to run the National Sculpture Center, said to me just before I made the decision to leave the museum, he said, he was like, can I be very honest with you? I was like, I would hope so. Like, please. And he's like, you tend to make enemies of people who are not. And I thought, okay. And he had some examples back when he was my boss. And I was like, okay. And of course I had a slightly different view of what he was saying because he wasn't the one in my position. He was in a position of power. So it was easy but I could understand too why he was saying, oh, Lucia tends to make, villainize people when really they have her best interest in mind. Anyway, I took it to heart and I was kind of like, okay, am I doing that in this instance with what's happening at my job? And I think I arrived at no. I mean, yes, definitely. Like, yes. Yes. And like, yes, I was like, why can't you guys just accept that I am this? And I don't shop at the same places and I'm not in those circles. And it's my first time going to Cafe Pacific in Highland Park Village. And I tripped over a chair and banged into the glass. And that's what happened. Of course it did. Because it's me in a place I shouldn't be. Like this whole feeling of like imposter syndrome, but like also, fuck you, I don't want to be there anyway.
Right. Right.
So that like battle in my head all the time. And just being like, is it possible to be this? Because you're probably right that they wanted me in that room because I could do those things that they couldn't do because they're at this level. And I can. And so it's like, but then it also felt like it wasn't ever good enough. Or right.
And I think I don't, I wish I did because maybe then I would have a lot more money. I wish I could give you the 3 things to go, oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. Do these 3 things and it'll all be better. But I don't know what those 3 things are because I think I'm journeying, always thinking there's 3 things for me to find out too. And You seem to be an intelligent human being that will make a decision whether or not the place you want to be in is in Dallas or not.
Yeah.
That's a significant part of it. Before we jump into going, okay, what is the physical or proverbial space I will create? If it shouldn't be here, then it shouldn't be here. You should go now. Before you sign the lease, you should go now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If this is the place, we'll go down that avenue for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend tell me recently, and I didn't like it until I did. Mm-hmm. He said, "Do you know that you," and at first I thought maybe he was quoting the Bible to me. But he said, "You know that you have not because you ask not, right?" And I said, "But what do you mean?" And he was like, 3 of the 3 things you have mentioned that you wish you had, you have. You just haven't asked. Because you either think you're supposed to be able to do it on your own, so that when you get it, you can tell everyone, look what I did.
Yeah. Ta-da!
Or you just assume that you're the person that helps everyone, and there's not anybody who actually wants to help you.
Yes.
And I said, I don't like you.
So hard to hear.
Because I think you're right.
Yeah, totally.
And I think I have a fear of asking equally as much because I'm afraid you're going to say no, as much as it is I'm going to ask for it. You're going to say yes, but it was the wrong thing. And then you gave it, but I was an idiot because I did finally make an ask and you gave me what I asked for, but it's not actually what I needed. Now I've wasted my time. I've wasted your time. And now I can never ask you for anything again because you gave it to me. And I said that sucked, but it was my fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except every scenario I've described, I have never experienced. But man, it feels like I have.
Yeah, because you think them into existence or something.
And I go like, I don't think I do this as consciously, but it's definitely in there. Like, well, yeah, but I know what asking and making yourself vulnerable does. Because that's why my dad left. And that's why my mom's been married and divorced 5 times. And that's why I went to so many schools. And that's why I was always the one with the answer. And that's why my fiance, before I got married, was living a double life. And that's why I was offered a job at the church when I was too young, but I was given a significant role. And that's why, because people want what they want from you. And when they're done, they're going to leave. I know how I can prevent that. I'll leave first. Or I'll at least make sure there is always an exit that I'm aware of. And we're not actually as close as you think we are. I'm very good at disclosure. I can be good at vulnerability, but I'm really good at disclosure. I'm good at disclosing information that makes you feel like, oh,
yeah,
my gosh, can you believe he told me that? I'm like, dude,
that's so close.
You don't know how many times I've told you that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but the greatest things in my life have only come when I've asked for the thing that I really needed.
Yeah.
Given someone opportunity to engage with me.
Yeah. It's funny because so many people, to a point, I'm sure this happens to you too, where you're like, you get to a certain point in life where you kind of assume that the only reason people want to talk to you is because they want something. Or there's some way you can be helpful to them. And I feel that all the time. And so I definitely put up some walls or barriers, or I go very below ground for a while because I feel like I'm like a neck a vampire has his eye on. But because I think maybe partly because I'm aware of that feeling of being needed or somebody being able to say, maybe she could help with this. It makes me reticent to ask others, but it is, but then it totally connected to like really basic stuff, like basic psychology stuff of like, I never had anyone to ask for help. So I just do it, you know, and like, I'll just do it. I'll just go, my siblings aren't going to fight our parents on this. I will, or, just the fighting part and, not knowing, but yes, absolutely not believing that that somebody would say yes to me if I needed it. Part of that though is like, I don't know what to ask for. I don't even know what it would be, and I don't know if that's like, you get a callous over your own feelings or something because you're so protective of, like you're so unaccustomed to being held.
I think yes. And I think that is an absolutely wonderful way to describe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's go with that analogy or metaphor, whichever one it's supposed to be. I think the season you're in is the removal of that callus.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Which is both wonderful and awful because it's not always enjoyable. And it makes everything, it feels like everything is extra sensitive. Because wait a second, I forgot I could feel this. This is not great. Yeah. Not my favorite feeling. I come to find out there's a reason I built a callus there.
Yes.
This one's not so wonderful.
Yeah.
But you did tell me in the very beginning that one of the things you wanted is that you wanted to fight.
Yeah.
And so for knowing 31 and a half minutes of your life, I hear you saying that has been an aspect of who you've been always.
Always. Yeah.
Some days it was mandatory and not exciting because you were going to defend 6 of the 8 who could not defend themselves.
Yeah.
And then some days it was totally mandatory because you had to defend yourself because nobody was coming to save you.
Yeah.
And I think the answer to both of those is yes, that's true. Next week, no one is coming to save you.
Yeah.
So but dig your heels in and fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that space that you will fight to be in, I promise you, there will be a line around the proverbial building waiting to get in of people who say, can I come here and be fought for?
Yeah, that's a nice way of thinking about it. I think there's a real, I think I'm grappling with like feeling like I went in there to fight for everyone at the museum and then it didn't work and I couldn't do it. And so there's this sense that like, who's going to do it for them now?
Yeah. But I think you, again, I don't have zero context. So at this point, I'm sort of just making shit up. But I don't think that's true. That's not true. What you just said isn't true. I don't know the story at all, but it can't be true.
I don't know. Feels like it.
Okay. I didn't say, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I will agree with you that it feels like I went in there to fight and it didn't work and I failed. And now they're left to their own and no one's going to get their back. Also, there may be some of that is true, but holistically, if I wish I could find the 50 people that we would say are the ones I wish I could go find them and we could text them all and ask them to send a voice message back to you. And I could just say, hey, do you feel like she fought for you? And if so, how was it? And was it beneficial? I mean, my guess is 50 out of 50 give a voice message back that they're like, my God, it was amazing. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the people who you went in there to advocate for, the people you advocated for and the difference that it made for them.
Yeah.
My guess is that's probably true.
Yeah. I think so. I think so. I think they knew what like the shape of it and the kind of like unlikelihood of me being, me being there in the first place or me representing a group of like artists and people I guess part of me wished I could change other people's minds. Like I wanted to change the minds at the top.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, but
I think people's minds can be changed and they will still choose not to walk with you. I believe I have interacted with lots of people who wouldn't say they are going to or want to go with me anymore. And I am positive my time with them changed their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It may have not fully persuaded their behavior to go with me or be like me. But I am unapologetically positive that I know that I changed their mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't look the way that I wished it would because I couldn't quantify it or qualify it to go, I did it.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it's like a little worm in their brain.
100%.
Comes back now and then.
And they will have that, that she had that like, she was here. She would.
Yeah.
I heard her when she, I remember when that one time when she, should we do that? No, we're not going to do that. I just remember when, and I think that's, pick a person in your mind who, man, I just really wish I could have quantified their change. Every time they hear, think about, remember something you did or said. That's a voice of the 100 people that you were advocating for.
Yeah.
While they were experiencing you.
Yeah.
So they didn't walk with us. They didn't do the thing we hoped they would. There wasn't a dynamic shift of the status ladder by which we could. It won't. You won't.
Yeah. And that is, I mean, you're right. It's like I can think of moments in my life where there have been too many voices in my head, you know, like when I was going through divorce, it was like God was in my head. My dad was in my head. My mom, it was like I had an apartment for everyone in that I knew in my head. They all were talking at the same time and eventually just be like, okay, I'm burning this shit down. Everybody get out. Everybody get out. Let me just, narrow down the voices in my head. But I really do think that, I really hope that is what you're describing is the case. I mean, just to be like a little, Jiminy Cricket character on Pinocchio's shoulder being like, this is, to carry that around. And I do think in my absence there, like there has been a sense of like, this was working really well. And now it isn't. And I don't wish that, but I also see that like it's a growth period for the whole identity of it. And certainly for me, trying to sort out like what from that that experience of like, it was traumatic in certain ways. Like, what do I take?
I'll wrap this up from here, but I had a semi-traumatic professional experience in the end of 2023. And a choice of not of my own making, that everything in my life went to zero. Started. And I had to go, I had to so fast get back into figure out a solution to keep living, that there really wasn't a time to like even think or process. It didn't matter. It's not healthy, but at the time it didn't matter. I have things to do. I have to figure it out. We've got to make money. We've got to get back out there and let's do that. And I think it was a year, at least maybe a year and a half. And I feel like where I like came up for breath for the first time. And I remember I was talking to a older gentleman, a mentor of mine, and he helped me come to the realization that where I began to find peace is that if I was going to blame someone for something, the only way that I can reconcile that is I have to blame them for all of it. Meaning the person who harmed me is an asshole. And I'm very mad. And it was very hurtful. And I think he's a jerk. And I hope he faces the consequence of his actions. And it doesn't remove any of the weight of that. And I'm very thankful, not for what he did, and none of that. I'm not thankful for any of that.
Yeah.
And I learned what I learned because he gave me an opportunity. I have what I can bring to the market now because I did it for 2 years. Because I can't just let one side be true. That's not real.
Right.
It's only real if it's all true.
Yeah.
And what is all true is that I learned so many things. I did so many wonderful things. I have so many new tools. I have was seen in a new light, believed in myself in a new way. Like he did that. He helped me with that.
Totally.
All that is true.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you.
Yeah, totally.
I am so tired
totally
of that again, Rocky put himself out there, really trying to help someone for them to go, watch this.
God.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm real good at my job now.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Like the pain and suffering you go to, that's your best teacher, and you really learn. I mean, I know that so much. Just thinking of everything, like stupid example of my divorce, but just like a marriage ending. And so you think you understand all these things, and briefly it's entirely the fault of this, but then the longer things go on, and you think you'll never, ever be able to, feel differently about the circumstance. But then in the end, it's your best teacher. Like you learn all of it. I'm just reminded of the artist Doris Salcedo, who's Colombian, and she, all of her work is about all of the, the disappeared, the people that were just taken, and no one ever heard from them again. And she is like constantly reiterating the pain and the suffering of the people that have been disappeared by the government. And she's like, this is a way to recall pain, because pain is an instructor about whatever it is that you do next, whatever your next choices are, how you make decisions, large and small, from the, development of governments and culture to the microcosm of your home. So it's like, or like if you choose premium or regular gas, like all of these things that inform your decisions. But I do think pain is the best teacher. And so I definitely take all of this, and I even I miss sometimes the like real moments of trauma where you're like, you have the most clarity about something, but you also like feel everything. Like you feel so much more than you do when you're just feeling good, and I miss that sometimes. I miss that feeling of like total, like cognizance of the world. And the occasion to like take it all and make it into something else. So like, I'm feeling a lot of that again, like not as like acutely as those like really hard times, but like, but a degree of like, whoa, this is again an encounter with myself and with the things that have made me and unmade me. Yeah. And that's such a gift. Like, it is such a gift to be able to be made aware. And whatever pain it is that gets you there, you don't ever regret it. No, you really don't. So yeah, I just need to go outside from under. Yeah.
Yeah. I will remind you of two things that you said. Your words, not mine. One, you are good. Not because of your performance or lack thereof. The innate human being that you are carries the exact same weight and value as the one who makes the perfect problem-solving decision in an organization. Same value. And I think you're very clear about who you are and what you're great at. Maybe still some confusion and possibility around exactly what medium to put that into, such that it is both enjoyable, valuable, and profitable. Yes. But as an encouragement, welcome. Because I've never not felt that. So if you're going to go do the thing on your own, welcome. I'm sure it's not your first rodeo. So you're good. You're very clear about who you are. I think you're very clear about what you're great at. The days in which the belief about its value hopefully are here. That it's 51% belief that they are good and only 49% doubt that they're not. Yeah. I don't think the goal is ever to remove doubt, because the only thing that exists without doubt is certainty. And I'm certain that I was born, and I'm certain that I will die. Yeah. there's very other little that I am certain of.
Yeah.
So with belief, doubt must be present.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We will just hope for more days at 51% belief.
Yes, that would be great. Yes. You're exactly right. And it is a kind of choice. You have to enter into and make the decision to believe that that's possible.
Yeah.
And there's not defeat here.
Yeah.
And just the shape, to start to shape what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to stand in line at wherever it is I'm supposed to show up to.
Okay, I'll let you know.
So let me know where to be. Whether in Dallas or Scotland.
Yes, it might be Scotland.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Especially if it's Scotland.
For sure. It might be a tiny little old hut for animals.
Please, I'll be there.
In the Highlands.
Hey, I will be there with my tiny Scottish cup of
something.
Highland cow food.
Yes.
Or whatever it is for me to be a part of. So
okay. Oh, that's very motivating.
Yeah.
And I will.
Yeah.
I hope it happens. It will.
It will. It will.
It will.
I can't wait. Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, Rocky.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's nice to be seen.
Mm-hmm.